The 2011 Nats will be entertaining. Yesterday, they did most of the big things and all of the little things en route to a 6-3 win. Today, Jordan Zimmermann bursts on the scene, facing veteran Tim Hudson in the series finale. Beautiful time of the year in our nation's capital. Cherry blossoms in bloom. Folks coming into the ballpark. The Braves and the Nats, it's a rubber game. And Sunday baseball on Masson, presented by Hyundai. So the Nats have a chance to win the series because they've done some really good things. Errorless ball, haven't walked people as a rule. They're knocking in runs without base hits like sac flies, sacrifice bunts, including a squeeze, and they haven't hit into a double play just yet. Small ball means big things for a winning ball club. Bob and FP, welcome to the ballpark. And yesterday's suicide squeeze with Rick Ankiel, right in the middle of all of this, a wonderful add-on run late in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that we've totally jinxed the Nationals for today with all those great stats, let's break down the squeeze play yesterday from Rick Ankiel. It was a wonderful play just put on by Jim Riggleman. You had a perfect storm. He had George Serrell with his back to the play, so he couldn't see Ryan Zimmerman running down the line at third base. You got a guy in Rick Ankiel who's first facing a tough lefty, second used to be a pitcher. He knows how to bunt. Great job by Ryan Zimmerman not going too soon at third base. A lot of times you'll see the runner at third base leave early. That tells everybody it's going to be a squeeze. You can pitch out. You can throw at the pitcher's head. Everything worked right there yesterday on that play, and everything worked yesterday for the Nationals, period. Just a great game by those guys.
And I think that video showed you Ankiel was more jubilant after the bunt than he was after the home run. Good pitching matchup. Last time these guys met, Hudson and Zimmerman, the Nats actually won the game. Tim Hudson, a lot of wins, 165. Jordan Zimmermann has just 4. By AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network, and by Navy Federal Credit Union. A loan from Navy Federal makes car buying easy. Visit NavyFederal.org to calculate your payments. Skies have cleared. It's still pretty chilly at the ballpark, wind blowing in. And the Nats have a chance to make an early season statement by possibly beating the Atlanta Braves in the first series of the year. Rick Ankiel, how about a guy hitting a homer and a sacrifice, a squeeze, a suicide in the same ball game? Nats are one of 6 ball clubs who haven't booted one yet. And Sean Burnett, thanks to some of his defense with the glove yesterday, has a good scoreless inning streak going into last year. Atlanta Braves are hitting .227 in this series. Alex Gonzalez 3 for 3 with a homer yesterday, so he's 3 for 6. Brian McCann has 3 hits. Chipper Jones has 4. Their leadoff man, Martin Prado, is 0 for 9 in this series. For Jordan Zimmerman, a chance to face Atlanta today in his 24th Major League start.
Yeah, battle a couple of guys that had Tommy John surgery today. Jordan Zimmerman, 19 months removed from that surgery. Fastball curve slider change. His fastball touched 96, 97 in one of his last outings in spring training. He's throwing harder than he ever was before. Struck out 15 in 23 innings for the Nats this spring. And the defense behind him, pretty much the same as it's been for the first 2 games. Morse and Keelworth in the outfield. Desmond and Zimmerman on the left side, Espinosa and LaRoche on the right side, and Pudge Rodriguez doing the catching.
Mike DeMuro has the plate today. Andy Fletcher, crew chief Tim Wilkie, Jim Reynolds on the bases. Game 3 of the season. Nats have outscored the Braves in this series, 6 runs to 5. Martin Prado steps in. Zimmerman, by the way, career 2 starts against the Braves, 2 wins, and I like those 2s. A 2.45 ERA. First pitch at 1:36. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist near you. Hard to stop a train. 55 chilly degrees at game time, but a beautiful day as far as the skies go. Espinosa gets to it. Might have overreached the ball, and I'm sure they'll give Prado a base hit. Danny has such great range. He was scampering to that ball.
Yeah, did a good job of buying himself some range, getting deep in right center field right there. Just couldn't come up with the play, ready to play baseball. Jordan Zimmerman has to love what he saw the first couple of days sitting on the bench. You know, he's a strikeout guy, but, you know, talking to Steve McCaddy today, now these guys are seeing some good defense behind him, and they're pitching to contact, trying to get some outs early in the count.
Here's Nate McLouth. So Prado, who is 0 for 9, went up and decided to swing early in the count. Nate McLouth is 1 for 8. So the Braves haven't done a whole lot of table setting. Dangerous hitter on deck, though, who's off to a great start. In fact, Chipper Jones said after the game yesterday, those guys took about 5 hits away from us. The Nats defense was outstanding. Atlanta had 10 hits. They could have had 14 or 15. Prado front foot at the cut of the grass, indicating a good leadoff. As McLeod hits one out of play, no balls, 2 strikes.
Well, if you're pitching to contact and staying down in the strike zone, you're going to be on your toes on defense, and the Nats have done just that the first 2 games. I mean, they did it all spring training. There's been an emphasis put on defense this year after what transpired last year. And when you got guys that are throwing strikes, got a good tempo going out there, they're not stepping off the mound, they're not shaking off, they're just getting the ball and going, you're going to see a lot of good plays.
0-2 pitch. Fastball up. Jordan Zimmerman is a power pitcher, but he does get lots of ground balls. Only managed 31 innings last year after coming back from Tommy John. Ball slapped to the right side. LaRoche to short. Right back to the pitcher. Safe at first, called by Andy Fletcher. A lot of times that call will be made if the pitcher doesn't quite get to the bag. Looked like Zimmerman was there. Nate McLouth, of course, does run well.
Yeah, that's the toughest double play to turn. The 3-6-1 double play. Good job by Jordan Zimmerman getting over there. A great feed by LaRoche. And let's check out the call at first base. That's bang, bang.
Well, what made it the play it was LaRoche getting that ball, getting rid of it quickly. That could have been called either way. 1 on, 1 out. Here's Chipper Jones.
Let's check out Jordan Zimmerman's foot. He lifts it up at the very end. He's got the base with his foot. That might have been, one of the questions, whether his foot was on the base, but it looked good from that angle.
Sure did.
Got over there. I mean, these guys have been working on that for 2 months down in Florida. The PFP, get over on a ground ball, and he was there in plenty of time.
Nate McLeod might be a better base stealer than the man he bats behind, Martin Prado.
And PFP is pitcher's fielding practice. I walked up to Sean Burnett today and I told him after yesterday he has a lifetime exemption. He doesn't have to take any more ground balls off of Fungo on the mound.
Sean told me his cell phone lit up after the game with all kinds of messages from around the country after those 2 plays he made. And he said his teammates, of course, were ripping him because the slow one's the one he missed. And Desmond bailed him out by going to the other side of the bag. So I guess defense is contagious, just like hitting. Even the pitchers catch it. 1-1 to Chipper. There's a double play ball. If Espinosa can handle it, he will get the out at first, avoiding the Nats' first error of the year. In his haste, might have looked up. It'll be 2 outs with a runner at second.
Yeah, Danny Espinosa's got a lot of time on this firm ground ball from Chipper Jones. Just a little in-between hop right there, a little topspin action. Came up and bit him. A lot of times if you sit back on those balls trying to get yourself into double play position, you stop moving your feet, your hands will get a little stiff. A little topspin action on the Chipper Jones ground ball. Espinosa couldn't handle it. Did a good job to get the out at first.
A couple of sharply hit balls here in the inning. Brian McCann has asked the second base umpire, Tim Welke, to move to the shortstop side. With Desmond playing up the middle, there were a couple of bodies behind the pitcher in his line of sight. And Jordan will miss inside for a ball. Brian McCann has an RBI. That came on Thursday, 3 for 8 in the first 2 games. The Braves are going on to their old home, Milwaukee, for 4 games starting tomorrow. Fastball in there. Pudge Rodriguez setting the target. Outer half. No better offensive catcher in baseball than this guy over the last 5 years. He also leads in some other categories like extra base hits. This one will find the ground in left center. And the Nationals' failure to turn the double play will cost them a run here in the first inning. That's Brian McCann's second RBI.
Yeah, Brian McCann, a good hitter with runners in scoring position, just staying on the fastball away in the strike zone, staying through the ball, just dumping it out to left center field. And not only does that failure to turn the double play and cost the Nationals a run, it cost Jordan Zimmerman some pitches. When you're talking about a guy that usually has a high pitch count because he's a strikeout guy, you want to be efficient, but Danny Espinosa's been lights out the first 2 games. You can't blame him for that.
Here's Dan Uggla, dangerous hitter in this situation. 1 hit on the year. It left the ballpark here yesterday. Zimmerman appears to have a good fastball to start the ballgame. I noticed last year when he made his 7 starts, first couple of times after getting back to the big leagues, that fastball had lots of life on it. And then it just faded a little bit down the stretch. He then seemed to get a little better as the season wrapped up, including a win over the Braves and Tim Hudson in late September. Not much of a track record, but in the early part of the season back in 09, pretty good. We still remember his first major league start at Citi Field. I can't remember the umpire. It was a veteran ump who was squeezing him like crazy in his first major league start, and he still took care of Carlos Beltran and the Mets that day to get that first major league W.
Some names come to mind that I won't mention on the air.
Runner just totally ignored by the Nats. And Brian McCann, who doesn't run very much, pretty much strolling down to second base.
Yeah, just a free 90 feet right there for Brian McCann with a tremendous jump. No chance for Pudge to even get off a throw right there. Now you got runner on second, 2 outs, and a dangerous hitter at the plate.
They didn't holler, he's going. They said, he's gone. No contest. And a ball popped up out behind short for Ian Desmond. Zimmerman gives up a run. Maybe should have had none. There's a future Nat enjoying a beautiful Sunday. Jazz Stewart, we love logistics. Jason Worth loved the way he was swinging the bat yesterday. 3 hits. He's 3 for 8 in the early going with a walk. I also thought he had a wonderful day running the bases yesterday. And if he and Desmond can start getting on base, he's 0 for 9. The Nats will be on to something with this very potent lineup. I mean, Desmond's 0 for 9 and LaRoche 1 for 9. Tough to solve some offensive things, though, against a pitcher like this. Tim Hudson, 10-2 career against Washington.
Yeah, got a couple of fastballs, a sinker, 87-91. He's got a cutter that he'll run in on left-handers. Curveball, slider, change, split. And sharp downer on the curveball. Former teammate of mine in Oakland in 2001. One of the most fierce competitors I ever played behind. This guy wants to win every single time he's out there. Just a true gamer on the mound for the Braves today.
He has as many complete games as Jordan Zimmerman does Major League starts, 23. So Ian Desmond looking to get on base for the first time. Coming off actually on base once yesterday. But that was with a fielder's choice. So looking for that first hit. That's a swing and a foul tip. McCann has it. And the leadoff man's retired. Worth and Zimmerman the next 2.
My defense behind Tim Hudson today for the Atlanta Braves. Prado, McLeod, and Hayward in the outfield. Gonzalez and Jones on the left side. Uggla, Freeman on the right side. And Brian McCann doing the catching.
Neither team changing its lineup hardly at all in this series, except for the catchers for the Nats. And here's Worth. Tim Hudson, career ERA 3.42. Facing a dangerous right-handed hitter early. Tim makes his 345th Major League start. Well, Worth shows bunt. Got Chipper on the move a little bit. Down there at third base, playing deep.
I think maybe some of the Nationals saw the way Chipper Jones was moving around late in the game at third base yesterday. Not a bad idea by Jason Worth. Bring him in a couple of steps and hit one by him. I mean, the Nationals got their work cut out for him today. Tim Hudson's a guy that everything that comes out of his hand looks the same. His fastball looks the same. His cutter looks the same. In the last 5 feet, a little dive, dart, sink, down in the strike zone. If you're a Nats hitter today, you're going up there a lot like Tommy Hanson yesterday. You're looking for the ball up in the strike zone. Tim Hudson's got late life on all of his pitches. He likes to live on the bottom half of the strike zone. You got to elevate him, get something up to drive.
You know, that reminds me of what the Nats said after facing Roy Halladay on opening day last year. Ryan Zimmerman told me everything looks the same coming out of his hand. I see the ball really well, and then he never misses his spot. Hudson, a lot like that. Ryan on deck, 3-1 pitch. Worth takes it the other way, and the count's full.
And a lot of times with Tim Hudson, all of his pitches appear like they're strikes, and they're not really strikes. They drop out of the strike zone late. They have a lot of late action. So it's a tough at-bat. You go up there and you don't have any easy takes. Everything looks like a strike about halfway, and then it has a lot of late life. Tough at-bat against this guy.
Worth will take the walk. Jason Worth has now been on base 5 times in this series. His second walk right there. And that'll get Ryan Zimmerman to the plate. Ryan is off to a good start. He's 3 for 6 with an RBI. But he's also walked a couple of times, been hit by a pitch. He has been on base 6 times in the first 2 games of this series.
The last pitch of Jason Worth is just what I'm talking about. Look at that pitch. Looks like a strike about halfway, and it just drops right out of the strike zone. Great take by Jason Worth. And a lot of times when you face a ground ball pitcher, if you're Jim Riggleman, you might think about hitting and running a lot today because you're going to hit a lot of ground balls if Tim Hudson's on top of his game.
And good hitters won't try to pull this guy. A lot of hitting room, about 85 feet of it on the right side of the infield. That's outside corner, so he paints twice. Zimmerman looking at Mike DeMuro as if to ask, are you going to give him both sides of the plate?
A lot of times you look back at an umpire and say one of those is strike, one isn't. He can't have them both, and guess what? He doesn't need your help. He's good enough.
So Zimmerman has to be swinging now on 0-2. Good catch.
And if you're thinking about Jason Worth stealing, Tim Hudson very quick to the plate. 1-2-5, 1-2-7 on his slide step. He's usually around a 1-3, 1-3-5 regular. Every once in a while he'll pick up his leg and give you a chance to steal. Now a good time, anything over 1.35 will give a base stealer a chance to run. Anything under that, it's tough. You got to get a great jump, almost like Brian McCann got in the first inning.
You know, Jason Worth is interesting. He has such a long wingspan with his feet. It doesn't look like that big of a lead, but his front foot is out near the cut of that infield grass, which is where we usually measure a pretty big lead. For him, it doesn't look that big. Zimmerman hacking again, staying alive. He's in emergency mode here. And on an 0-2 situation, he's fought off 2 tough pitches.
And Jason Worth can get out there. He can get one of those big leads. All he has to do is fall. Just fall back to first base. He's so long, he's so lean. You get that big lead right there. You just hope that Hudson gives you a good leg kick, gives you something to run on. A lot of base stealers are peeking to the catcher to see if they can get a sign. They see anything but a fastball. That off speed gives them an extra step to steal the base.
0-2 pitch. A bouncer. Worth gets the secondary lead. He'll go as Brian McCann could not find the ball. McCann did a good job of blocking the ball out in front of him, but he thought it had gone off to the side. And on the wild pitch, the Nats get a runner in scoring position.
And Jason Worth always very aggressive on the bases, looking for a 90-foot mistake, and that's what just happened right there. Tim Hudson with the off-speed pitch in the dirt. McCann did a good job of blocking it. Jason Worth was going to stop, and then he saw the ball kick back to Hudson. He said, I got plenty of time to get to second.
Now Zimmerman takes one low, and it's turning into a very good at-bat.
Well, it's turning a lot bigger situation for Tim Hudson because of that pitch in the dirt. You're thinking ground ball double play. Now you're thinking, I got a really good hitter up with a runner in scoring position. You got stressful inning, right out of the gate.
Strikeout, a walk, a wild pitch, 2-2 to Zimmerman. And Ryan will chop it left side where Chipper Jones will get a belt-high hop, 2 outs. That'll bring up Adam LaRoche, who is due for that first RBI. 1 for 9, as mentioned earlier.
We saw the top of the first with first base open. Jordan Zimmerman pitching with a runner in scoring position, and Brian McCann up, and the right-hander Dan Ugla on deck. He chose to pitch to McCann. We'll see what Tim Hudson does here right now with Adam LaRoche hitting and Michael Morse on deck.
Fastball is in there. Today, as opposed to yesterday, with all the crazy conditions, should be a good hitting day, even though the pitchers are tough. There's the flat lighting the hitters are looking at. The batter's eye, a lot darker than the baseball today. No sun peeking in and out. It was crazy here with all the changing conditions from minute to minute yesterday. Roche sees that ball well and takes it in the dirt, 1-1.
A couple of off-speed pitches for Hudson to start the at-bat with Roche. If you're hitting in this situation, you're Adam LaRoche, you're looking for the ball up, but the first 2 pitches being off speed, Tim Hudson saying, I'm pitching around you carefully, I'm pitching to you carefully, with first base open and a right-hander on deck. You might say, well, it's early in the game, FP, but you got an open base and you're a veteran guy like Tim Hudson, you're not going to give in.
That one misses up and away, 2-1. And now Tim Hudson's thrown more pitches than Jordan Zimmerman did in the top of the first. That right-handed hitter you referenced is Michael Morse, off to an 0 for 5 start with an RBI and walk. Hudson taking his time here on 2-1. Sequence of signs with the runner looking in. LaRoche, base hit, left field. Chipper gets in the way of the runner. He should be safe at home no matter what. That's got to be interference. Has to be interference. And the Nationals have tied the game. Home plate umpire Mike DeMuro calling the runner out, but Chipper Jones was right in Jason Worth's way.
Yeah, just a professional at bat by Adam LaRoche after seeing 3 off-speed pitches. Tim Hudson gives in and throws him a fastball right in the hitting zone. Nice job of going the other way, and you see Jason Worth right there and getting to know Chipper Jones at third base. It's definitely interference.
Yeah, Worth knew that he was going to be given that run. So did the Nats. Freddie Gonzalez out to not really argue, more of a discussion with Jim Reynolds. So the umpires got their job right, and the Nats have tied the game as Adam LaRoche. A lot of RBIs. 2 outs, runners in scoring position last year, and he delivers here for the Nats. Here's Michael Morse. That ball was really hit hard, and so's this one. LaRoche will make the turn, heading for third. Morse better get back, and he does. Now the Nats have 2 consecutive hits. How about this opposite field hitting by the big guns in the middle of the order?
Yeah, just looking for the ball up in the strike zone. Michael Morse with a great swing right here. Let's check it out. Head down on the baseball, staying through it. I talked about it in spring training. If that doesn't look like Jack Clark, I don't know what does. A great piece of hitting. And so far the game has been a couple of 90-foot mistakes. One by the Nationals at the top of the first, and the ball in the dirt, and great aggressive base running by Jason Worth, getting himself in scoring position. And the Nats have stressed running the bases aggressively this year has paid off so far.
Big spot for Rick Ankiel. And he goes center field, but it's hanging up. And a sliding Nate McLouth will make the grab. Nats swinging the ball great, or swing the bat great, hitting the ball hard. It's a tie game. Added a single. Jason Worth had 46 doubles for the Phillies last year. Call Luna today for up to 70% off all flooring. 877-241-LUNA. Shop smart, shop Luna. Top of the second, Zimmerman with a good-looking fastball called low to Jason Hayward. Hayward 1 for 5 with a home run here on Thursday, and that's a strike. Young man who will not be 22 years of age until the 9th of August. He's already 3rd on the all-time Atlanta list for RBIs before the 22nd birthday, behind only Andrew Jones and Bob Horner. Espinosa can wait for this one. Nice easy out to start at the top of the second. Just beyond the 2 o'clock hour here at Nationals Park on a Sunday afternoon, our first of the season. Nice crowd on hand, 22,000 here yesterday. Bob FP and Debbie Taylor at the ballpark with you. And the Nats trying to win a series to start off the season. Next up, shortstop Alex Gonzalez. And when I had my little misstep last inning saying the Nats are swinging the ball well, FP reminded me that's something Miguel Tejada used to say all the time, swing the ball well.
Yeah, we finally told him to swing the ball every time he got a hit and scored a run. Because he'd get mad at himself and say, swing the ball, Miggy, and talk to himself.
He's talked himself into a pretty good career with that bat. Zimmerman looking good, 0-2 to Gonzalez, the number 7 hitter. By the way, you Nats fans at home who keep track of such things, Washington made Tim Hudson throw 23 pitches in that first inning. And Zimmerman going right after Gonzalez. Steve McCaddy telling us around the cage this morning, no real pitch limit on the right-hander today. They'll see how it goes here for quite a while today, and hopefully he'll be around deep in the ballgame, but they think he's ready to go deep. Outside third.
If you're Jordan Zimmerman, you're pumped that your team scored the bottom of the first. You got a clean slate. You go right back out there. New ball game.
The other thing McCaddy reminded me of, and we saw this 2 years ago when we first saw Jordan, he got a little mean streak in him. He's very competitive. He does not like to lose. You love that bulldog in a young pitcher. He's a very quiet guy around the ball club. Seldom has much to say. But when he gets out there between those lines, McCaddy loves how he goes at hitters.
Yeah, he lets his 96, 97 do the talking.
Like that for his first strikeout of the day on a high heater.
A little 0-2 fastball up in Gonzalez's eyes. You heard the glove. You heard Pudge's glove. Just a plus fastball, climbing the ladder, maybe setting up a 1-2 slider. But Alex Gonzalez decided to offer at the high fastball from Zimmerman.
And Gonzalez is a free-swinging shortstop who loves to drive the ball. Here's Freddie Freeman, 2 for 7 to start the season. No need to tell you here in the National League how important it is to get a 1-2-3 when the last guy's the number 8 hitter. I like his work rate. He's getting the ball. He's ready to throw. The pitcher is next. That fastball whistles in there.
Hey, the first 2 fastballs from Jordan Zimmerman missed the target, but to me it looked like they were right down the middle of the plate. And a lot of times the umpire will get caught up in if you hit the glove or you don't hit the glove, if it's away from the target.
Man, he's around the plate on every pitch here. 3-1.
Pudge set up away the first couple of pitches, and it didn't hit Pudge's glove, but the ball was right down the middle of the plate. Now, we might have some angles with our cameras that are a little bit different, but that's a good pitch, too, right there. Jordan Zimmerman all over the plate.
Wow. This looks like Brian Gorman in New York 2 years ago. First major league start, April 20th against Atlanta, then the 26th at New York. Well, if he stays that fine today, he will be just fine.
And if he stays down in the strike zone like that, you show the home plate umpire on a given day you have command, and you prove that you have command, that zone will start opening up later in the game.
Here's Tim Hudson, who always has been a good hitter, 195 career average. That is a little tardy. Pardon me, 175 career mark after he hit 195 a year ago. He does have a career home run. Out to short for Desmond. Over to Espinoza. Has 0 on the board for Jordan Zimmerman. Bottom of the order coming up in a 1-1 game. magnet schedule you got here at the ballpark yesterday. Here it is, brought to you by Commuter Connections. Will get you home, guaranteed. The Nats will open up in Florida on Tuesday night. 3 night games there before it's on to New York. Jason Marquis, Anibal Sanchez on Tuesday. Lee Vaughn and Chris Volstad. Wednesday, John Lennon gets Josh Johnson on Thursday. And note the starting time on the game Friday against the Mets. FP and I will join you from Citi Field at 4 o'clock. First pitch at 4:10 as the Mets will have their opening day. They're 7-0 ahead in Florida in the 3rd inning right now. By the way, in the East, Phillies are 2-0. The rest of the division 1-1. Espinosa 2 for 6 with an RBI so far. How about 3 for 7? The Nationals are making solid contact against Tim Hudson early here.
You know, it's called a good game plan by Rick Eckstein, the hitting coach for the Washington Nationals. These guys are looking for a ball up in the strike zone and getting on it. Danny Espinosa with a nice slow leg kick getting back. That slow leg kick will allow you to see the baseball, slow things down, make good decisions, see ball strike, see fastball slider. Whenever that leg kick gets fast, your head starts moving. You can't make good decisions at the plate. Nice job of Danny Espinosa starting early.
3 hits and a walk already. And a solid line drive to center by Ankiel that was caught by McLeod on a slide. First pitch breaking ball had Pudge buckling a bit. Ivan Rodriguez starting the game on Thursday going 0 for 3. And then Wilson Ramos steps in yesterday and goes 3 for 4. Good looking catching tandem. That's a double play ball to short. And Nats will hit into the first of the year, even though Espinosa really went after Dan Uggla.
Number 27,
It's something the Nationals stressed in spring training. They want the whole league to know that when a ground ball's hit, they're going to come get somebody. We saw it with Lance yesterday, and you see it today with Danny Espinosa. Good, clean, hard slides into second base. You make the other club aware of that. All of a sudden, you got middle infielders thinking, these guys are going to come get me, and it will affect their throws to first base.
Mike Rizzo told me his favorite 2 plays yesterday were Rick Ankiel's ground ball in the 2nd inning to advance Michael Morse to 3rd, and then the Knicks takeout of Dan Uggla later in the ballgame to avoid a double play. General managers looking maybe one step beyond of some of the things we look at to see where the game's really being played well. Jordan, by the way, 6 career hits, couple of RBIs, and he'll go out to short for Gonzalez. Lead off hit, he raced on the double play, this one into the 3rd inning. Top of the order for the Braves in a 1-1 game. report. Visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. And Debbie, I'm sure our time will be worth it.
Definitely worth the wait, Bob. And let me tell you, Jason Worth was brought into this team to be a leader on the ball club, and so far he's been doing just that.
I feel like you lead by example for the most part. I'm coming from a place where, we had a lot of veteran guys that have played a long time that, have done things the right way for a long time. So I got to see, true professionals at work for many years there in Philadelphia. Hopefully I can bring a little bit of that with me here in Washington.
He looks forward to molding the young players here into the type of players that they can be, he told me. He also said that he really likes the chemistry on this ball club. He said Mike Rizzo did a terrific job bringing in guys with good character, and it's early, but they're definitely starting to gel. Guys?
Well, the GM told me today he likes what he sees those first 2 days out. Worth in the middle of a lot of it. He's been on base 5 times. Fastball inside, and Jordan Zimmerman goes 2-1 to Martin Prado, who collected his first base hit of the young season off the glove of Danny Espinosa, leading off the game.
And why wouldn't Rizzo or anybody associated with the Nationals right now be excited about the first 2 games, albeit it's only 2 games, but they're doing things that you can control on a daily basis. You start moving guys along, playing the game the right way, breaking up double plays, sacrifice bunts, taking the extra base. Over the course of a 6-month season, that's going to lead to a lot more wins than losses.
Pop up right side near the dugout. LaRoche is there. Last year, the Nationals gave up 19 runs in their first 2 games. You can expect a different kind of season right here at the ballpark with the all-inclusive Power Pack ticket. $25 is where it starts. A season-long plan offering parking, food, and drink. Go to nationals.com/powerpack for more information. Some restrictions do apply. Nats lost their first 2 games last year by a combined score of 19-5 to the Phillies. There's Nate McLouth, reached on a fielder's choice, eventually scored in the first inning. First pitch fastball right in there.
Everything I hear about last year, I'm sure glad to be here this year. I'll tell you that, partner.
Busted bat, little liner. Right there is Desmond. We'll bring up Chipper, 2 outs, bases empty, the way you would like to face him. He bounced out to second, first time up.
Yeah, I talked to Chipper Jones today. He's my go-to guy with the Braves. I always seek out the other team's superstar, obviously. But talking to him, I said, hey, when I was 35, 36, the game started speeding up for me. Have you got to that point yet? As the game started to get a little bit faster? Because as a rookie, when you come up, this game moves so fast at the highest level. Throughout the course of your career, you're able to slow it down. He said, FP, there's been times lately where the game's kind of speeding up a little bit.
Michael Morse over to grab it. Chipper, by the way, will be 39 in 3 weeks. Coming up, Desmond, and then Worth, and then Zimmerman. Top of the order, coming right up. Nationals walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support the boys and girls clubs of Greater Washington, D.C. And to date, 8 walks, $400 donated. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. And is there a greater town in the world in which to take a walk than the one where we're in right now? Probably not. Here's Desmond. Ian needs a base hit. 0 for 10 to start the season. Struck out swinging first time. Had a chat with him at his locker this morning, and he told me that the feel of the defense is a tangible thing, even on the field, that guys can tell it's different, even in the early going here. He had several different guys across for him at second base last year. Desmond claiming the ball hit his foot maybe, and thus ruled a foul ball. You know, but Desmond had Christian Guzman, Adam Kennedy, Alberto Gonzalez. He looked over a lot of days, and there was almost a different second baseman all the time. And now he knows it'll be Danny Espinoza almost all of the time this year.
Well, he said they're communicating better this year. He's not afraid to say something to Ryan Zimmerman at third base. He's not afraid to talk to Danny Espinoza at second base. Even position Michael Morse in left field, where last year as a rookie, you know, he's just getting his feet wet at the major league level. Maybe not as vocal as he wanted to be because you're a rookie. And this year the guys are communicating on defense, and you can see it's translated so far.
2-2 pitch coming from Tim Hudson. Breaking ball hit in the air to right for Jason Hayward. Worth coming up. Have a look at our league leaders. Action-packed table games. Red-hot slots await. Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, West Virginia. Look at this list of guys since '08 with more than 75 homers and more than 50 stolen bases. His former teammate, Matt Holliday, is on that list, and so is Nat Killer Hanley Ramirez. We shall see him Tuesday night. But you know, there's some big guns gone from that Florida lineup. Jorge Cantu's long gone, Ugla gone. Maybe the Nats won't have to pitch to Hanley Ramirez as much as they have in the past. In that ballpark down there, he has been a nightmare for Washington's staffs over the last 5 years.
It's been a nightmare for a lot of staffs.
The Nats, by the way, were 3-6 down in Florida last year. The Marlins were 7-2 here. So Washington owes those guys some. Worth walked, advanced on a wild pitch, and scored on the LaRoche base hit first time up. Ryan Zimmerman right behind him here in the third. Hudson took the bat out of Worth's hands, had him reaching. 2 outs. Well, as we mentioned last inning when Espinoza got that base hit, the Nats were making solid contact against Hudson. Since then, double play ball, routine grounder to short, can of corn to right, comebacker. He's settling down. From one side of the plate to the other for a strike.
Like most elite, easy for me to say, pitchers in the National League, you get him early. You don't want him to settle into the game. A guy like Tim Hudson, you're playing with him in 2001. He does his best work in the middle of the game.
That's a busted bat on a ground ball to Dan Uglin. The Nats go quickly in the third. It's shaping up as a good pitching matchup. Zimmerman and Hudson. ballpark with us, and we get a chance on a daily basis to show them our appreciation for what they do for us, putting their lives and sacrificing time with their families so that we can be free. Digging for some popcorn here in the top of the fourth inning. Not that interested in being on camera. McCann, Ugla, Hayward for the Braves against Jordan Zimmerman. 43 pitches, 29 strikes the first 3 innings. First pitch breaking ball in there. Jordan mixing things up. McCann blooped to hit for an RBI out to left center first time. Said he died of breaking stuff to the left-hand batter here.
That's a good pitch right there. You steal strike one with a get-me-over curveball. Obviously, McCann sitting dead red fastball on the first pitch. Then you drop a nasty one in there in the 0-1 count.
Fastball, see ya. Zimmerman trying to follow on the heels of successful outings by Levon and Lennon.
Yeah, Levon Hernandez on opening day did a fine job after giving up a couple early runs, just settling down and throwing strikes, working ahead in the count and doing what he does best, changing speeds and hitting corners. And John Lannon yesterday, a great tempo out there, pounding the strike zone. Had to sit through an hour and some change rain delay to come out and get his win in the 5th inning.
By the way, we're told that first breaking ball by Levon just arrived at home plate this morning. How about that guy? Ugla popped up to short first time. In Philadelphia, Ryan Howard has hit his first homer of the year. The Phillies lead Houston 4-0, trying to sweep. Ugla skies one to left center, playable. Rick Ankiel using his glove as a shade. 2 outs. Michael Morse there if needed. And our old friend Willie Harris has hit his first of the year as the Mets lead at Florida 7-1 in the 3rd inning. Willie's getting lots of play time with some of the injuries the Mets have right now. We'll be at Citi Field next Friday for a 4:10 game, and then Saturday night and Sunday afternoon next weekend. Here's Hayward. How about this inning for Jordan Zimmerman? Right there's Roche. A handful pitches. Down go the 4, 5, and 6. He's pitching as well as the blossoms are blooming here in our nation's capital. LaRoche. Brave and Tim Hudson pitching well as well. Last time up, LaRoche drove in a 2-out run. This time he leads off in the 4th. Morrison and Keel to follow. First target inside. Ball misses way in there. Ball 1 to LaRoche. Finally collecting his first Nationals RBI. 99 more to go. That ball hit pretty well to left. It'll back up Prado and then fall into his glove with the wind blowing in. 1 out.
And check out McCann right here getting a sinker away, just looping it into left center field for the Braves' first run of the game. And then you had Adam LaRoche coming up for the Nats with just a great veteran at bat. 3 off-speed pitches. It was all over the fastball when he finally got it. And Jason Worth colliding with Chipper Jones for the Nats' first run of the game.
Called out by Mike DeMuro, overruled on the interference by Jim Reynolds. And here's Morse, who then followed with a base hit to right field. So the Nats have out-hit the Braves 3-2. Whoa! Right at his shoulder. Well, maybe Morse leaning out over the plate after that base hit the opposite way last time.
Little close shave from Tim Hudson. Wow. Michael Morse with a couple days growth working right there. You got to feel good about getting his first knock of the season. Nothing will relax you more than checking in with that first hit.
And Morse gets jammed and pops it up right side for Freeman. Boy, the outs are coming quickly. Relay race a few moments ago, the Geico President's Race. At the end of this, the fans were booing. First of all, Abe gets by Teddy. Then Teddy goes down. Teddy actually came on to take the lead. And then in a very unpresidential display of poor sportsmanship, all Tom and George took Teddy down, and Abe's the winner.
Tall Tom and all Chipper Jones right there on Jason Worth. It's interference.
I did notice, though, it's one of the few times in, 5 years now, we've had the fans booing the President's Race. No dirty tricks this time. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ankiel, who lined out to center first time. Fastball whistles outside. Man, these guys are getting the ball. They are ready to throw, and they are both feeling it. Hudson and Zimmerman. Espinosa, if the inning continues.
That tells me they're both confident in their stuff. I always wondered, the starting pitcher, why wouldn't you work fast? Why wouldn't you get the ball and throw it? A lot of times you'll see guys out there working slow. It's because they're thinking about their mechanics, what pitch I'm going to throw next. Guys that are confident in their stuff, they get it and they throw it and they work fast.
McCann wants the pitch up and in. It's not that up, way in, and Ankiel works it to 3-2. Foul tip into the glove of McCann. The Nats are gone. Top of the 5th inning. You might say it's being a rough ride for hitters so far today. Down goes Teddy. 1-1 game. Sunday, he'll be able to attend a Miller Lite party night here at the ballpark. Every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Tickets start at $20. First drink is on us. Get here early, happy hour. $5 beers and entertainment. Nationals.com/party night for ticket info. Some restrictions apply. Jordan Zimmerman to Alex Gonzalez. Look at that total the last 2 innings. Single digits, especially that fourth. 3 outs on 6 pitches to McCann, Ugla, and Hayward. Great hitters down quickly. And this ball, fly to the gap. Long way to go for either of them. And Worth can't make the connection. All the way to third will go Alex Gonzalez. Ball overthrown, and that's why pitchers back up. I don't know if Worth was calling the ball. Ankiel peeled off at the last moment.
You know, these two guys didn't have a lot of games together in spring training where Ankiel was playing center and Worth was playing right, and you wonder if that came into play right here. Just a perfectly placed ball by Alex Gonzalez. Both guys kind of looking at each other. At the last second, Worth goes for it. I know the decision was made late in spring training that Rick Ankiel was the center fielder, so these guys have only worked with each other for a couple of games, and just a ball hit right perfectly in between them.
Jim Riggleman will not play the infield in here. 1-1 game in the 5th. A couple of schools of thought here. If you did play the infield in and got an out, the pitcher is next. Any ground ball not fielded by Ryan Zimmerman or the pitcher will be an RBI here. Jordan goes 2-0.
Well, this is where if you're Jordan Zimmerman, you go to your strikeout stuff. This is a strikeout situation. You got the pitcher on deck, Tim Hudson. He can handle the bat well, but if for some reason you get Freddie Freeman to pop up right here, strike out, it's a good way to get out of this situation.
Paints the corner, gets a strike. He's only pitched off the stretch once since the first inning. And that was against Hudson.
And Jordan Zimmerman's been down in the strike zone all day long. He's hitting his spots, found the feel for his off-speed stuff last inning. Let's see if he goes to it behind in the count, 2-1.
Kinetic pitch track showing he got the call. On a play left side.
Was feeling for his slider early in the game. A lot of times pitchers will tell you it takes a minute to get the feel for their off-speed stuff. Last inning, he had a great slider working. He threw the get over one for a strike, then a nasty one down the strike zone. Threw it about 2 or 3 times for a strike. Let's see if he goes to it with 2 strikes.
Up the middle, RBI ground ball. Desmond to first, Braves lead 2-1. Freddie Freeman's first ribby of the year. And you can make an argument that Jordan Zimmerman didn't deserve to give up any runs so far today. Double play not turned back in the first. Fly ball falls in here. The breakdown of his pitches last year. Fastballs 2 out of every 3 pitches, roughly. Jim Hudson bounced out to Desmond first time. Phillies have stretched their lead now to 5-1 at home over Houston. And the Mets still lead at Florida 7-1. Other divisional teams in action right now. And a little bit low, 2-2. You have a seat, first base line. Look out for a foul ball. Right-handed pitcher can overpower this hitter. Instead, he misses outside. Top of the order coming with Martin Prado.
Yeah, Tim Hudson battling right here, making Jordan Zimmerman fire a lot of bullets. He's a good hitting pitcher, but I hate to throw 6 or 7 pitches to the opposing pitcher. You got to respect the fact that Tim Hudson can swing the bat, but you hope you wouldn't have to throw so many pitches to him.
Hudson takes it, no swing, and he walks with 1 out.
And check out the 3-2 pitch from Jordan Zimmerman to Tim Hudson. Fastball down in the strike zone.
Man, he is really getting squeezed today. Started early, and here it is, the 5th inning.
As I said, down in the strike zone. And he's all around it. I mean, as a starting pitcher, when you've shown the home plate umpire you're around the plate, you usually get the benefit of the doubt. He hasn't missed by much on his balls.
Martin Prado 1 for 2. Thought he was getting a first pitch fastball.
You got to keep eye on the hit and run right here. Tim Hudson's a good base runner, a good baseball player. A lot of times you won't hit and run with the pitcher, but Martin Prado can handle the bat. You got a 2-1 lead. A lot of times you like to force the issue when you have a lead.
And Prado does have some power. Jason Worth cannot play too shallow in right field. And there's an example of it, and he goes gap. That's going to hop up against the scoreboard. Hudson approaching third. Brian Snitker will hold him. And now the Nats will have their first error of the year as Espinoza boots the relay. They were not going to send the runner. There was no reason for Danny to hurry there. And the Nats suddenly are not playing that well in the field today. That should be a double and an error. No RBI.
Yeah, just a center cut fastball right there from Jordan Zimmerman. Pudge wanted on the inner half of the plate. He split the gap once again. Check out the relay throw. Just an in-between hop to Danny Espinoza. Had trouble picking it up. You see Tim Hudson stopping at third base. There's an infielder there. You have a double cut in order. Ian Desmond is trailing Danny Espinoza. If the throw is going to give you problems as the first guy in the relay, a lot of times you'll see a guy just take his glove away and let the second guy get it. Danny Espinoza had to fight a tough hop right there. You know, maybe you let that one go to the trail guy, and Ian Desmond right behind you, he can pick it up and make a good play.
I think every inch of Tim Hudson's body touched home plate on that slide. From fingertips to the tips of his toes. Probably hearing about that in the dugout, and the Braves now lead 3-1. Now the bullpen's getting busy. A triple, a very damaging walk to the pitcher in this inning, and then a clean double.
And check out the relay throw from Rick Ankiel. Does a good job of getting the ball a little low right there. Danny Espinoza fielding that tough in-between hop. You see Ian Desmond right here. You just let that ball go. It goes right to Desmond. You don't want to fight that tough hop when you're the lead guy in a relay throw. Just let that go.
Ankiel didn't want to throw a low fastball like that either.
But that's what the trail guy is for, so you don't have to deal with that tough in-between hop, which happens a lot on a long throw.
We're assuming they gave the error to Espinoza, but that was not a good throw by Ankiel, who has a very strong arm. So Prado's at third base with 1 out, and the Braves have a chance for a 3-run inning here. The infield is in now. Oh, that walk to the pitcher. Ball flared to left. Michael Morse coming in. Prado has good speed. He's holding. Good throw home by Morse to get it there quickly. He did miss the cutoff man. Pudge able to block it on the short hop. Now we'll see if they want to deal with Chipper. I mean, pick your poison here, Chipper Jones or Brian McCann. And now Chad Godin, who did not have a great debut yesterday, joins Doug Slayton. Jordan Zimmerman is due to bat third in the bottom of the 5th inning. If it stays a 2-run game, I'm sure Jim Riggleman will consider keeping him in. If it goes to 3, who knows? Nothing close to Chipper yet, 2-0. He was smelling a hit on a 2-0 count.
And this is a situation for a younger pitcher to where you just don't want the game to get away from you. A lot of times things start happening behind you that you can't control. You fight the urge to throw harder to get through it. If you can just limit the damage, keep them right there. You're still in the baseball game. There's a long way to go.
3-1. Number 4 hitter Brian McCann is next, 1 for 2 with an RBI today. This is a big pitch in the ballgame now for Jordan Zimmerman. And he gets Chipper to pop it up. Ryan Zimmerman under it. The Braves will score a couple. And halfway through the ballgame, they lead it 3-1. Bottom of the order coming up, maybe a decision about the number 9 hitter. With Nats Extra at 6:30. First pitch, 7:05 from Florida. Fans know there's a long way to go in this one, 3-1. And maybe the defense not quite as sharp today as it was in the first 2 ball games.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not doing what they did in the first 2 ball games, but they're still in this game, 3-1, two runs behind. You know, some miscues behind Jordan Zimmerman. I like the way he's handled adversity. A lot of times with the young guy, you'll see him maybe get a little riled up, very calm out there, getting out of some jams, still in this baseball game.
Time for some offense. Tough guy to do it against. Tim Hudson goes to work, and he's got some momentum on his side right now. Danny Espinosa, leadoff hit. Back in the second, he was doubled on a ground ball by Pudge Rodriguez then. Espinosa with kind of a slug butt. Feet on the move, trying to drag it down that first baseline.
A good idea by Danny Espinosa right there. Trying to get on base any way you can, get those runs back, start things up. He's done a good job of leading off innings so far this year for the Nationals.
Hudson really keeping the ball down. That's at least 3 foul-tipped strike threes, I remember. AT&T trivia with 1 out here, bottom of the 5th. Chipper Jones, 436 career homers, 3rd among switch hitters. Well, I'd say Mickey Mantle has to be one of those. I'll say Mickey Mantle, Eddie Murray. How's that?
How's a switch hitter, Bob?
You had 21. Are you for it?
Well, the first 2 games of the year, that segment was called Make the Broadcasters Look Stupid, because the first 2 questions were hard. I think that one's a little more easy. We got a chance right there.
Yeah, I think we got a shot with Mickey Mantle and Eddie Murray. I know they both hit 500 or more. Jordan Zimmerman, by the way, is on deck with Pudge Rodriguez stepping in here, bottom of the 5th.
Good at bat by Pudge. Tim Hudson's got it going on right now. That last strike to Danny Espinosa just dropped off the table. When he's going good, that fastball is crispy down the strike zone.
2 balls, 2 strikes. FP had 16 homers left-handed, 5 right-handed in his career. Of course, you face a lot more right-handers. And by the way, 4th on the list, if I remember correctly, is Chili Davis, not FP Santangelo.
Chili Man.
Pudge looks that one all the way down and away, 3-2.
Yeah, this is a tough pitch for hitters against Tim Hudson. 3-2. He always throws that fastball that looks like it's a strike. It drops out of the strike zone. Let's see what he does right here.
Pudge off to an 0-4 start with the bat. A lot is being made, of course, of the catching situation. Pudge, the mentor, Ramos, the up-and-coming young catcher. Who's going to play more than whom? Well, I think the hitters will probably decide that. They're both good catchers, obviously. McLeod puts that easy fly ball away, and Zimmerman will walk to the plate. Let's see how he did. Chipper Jones, 3rd most homers among switch hitters. First is Mickey Mantle, and 2nd is Eddie Murray. We got one.
I was 4th again today.
That's okay. We're a team. We win as a team. We lose as a team up here. I go down in flames with the best of them. George Zimmerman bounced out to short first time. Nats have not had a hit since Danny Espinosa's leadoff single in the 2nd. And Tim Hudson is pitching now like he's double parked. Like he's ready to get on that plate and take his team to Milwaukee. Heartbreaking ball outside, 2-1.
2001 playoffs, Tim Hudson came in the dugout before we were playing the New York Yankees, and he was screaming at the top of his lungs, "I just need 1 run tonight. Get me 1 run and I'll win this game."
How'd it turn out?
I think we got a run and we lost. No, but that's just the kind of guy he is. I mean, he's just such a bulldog, such a competitor. A lot of pitchers are very quiet. He's very vocal, very fiery kind of guy, a guy you'd like to play behind.
Pretty good swing by Zimmerman, scorching one right to Ugla. And that is 11 in a row for Tim Hudson, whose 10-2 career against the Nats.
Yeah, check out the sequence from Jordan Zimmerman, Pudge Rodriguez to Brian McCann last time. Up a little get-me-over curveball, then a nasty slider at his back foot to set up the 0-2 fastball. A little 3-pitch see you later. and pitched Brian McCann backwards last time. Let's see what they do to him this time.
Rule of the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world, Verizon 4G LTE, with our pitch track and pitch sequence. Shift is on against McCann, the pull hitter. Ryan Zimmerman, though, stays pretty close to home at third base. And McCann will pop it right over there to Ryan. He will back up onto the grass and make the call. Still drifting with it. Not an easy play with the breeze moving that ball around. Of course, after Florida, this feels calm up here. Today's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Dan Ugla 0 for 2 with a couple of fly balls, one to short, one to center. And this one to right center. Got some carry on it, and Worth is there, short of the track. Base is empty, 2 outs as Jordan Zimmerman, now Debbie Taylor, bounces back.
Well, Bob, I asked Jordan what his goals were for this season. He said, I don't really set goals, but what I would like to do is get the team into the 6th or 7th inning and then hand it over to the relievers in the bullpen. He also told me that he was feeling really good this spring, and he felt that his fastball was getting better and better with each start, and that was something that he wanted to work on. And Pudge told me the key for him is just to slow things down and stay ahead of hitters, and he's keeping them in it right now, Bob.
I hope there's a time soon when he changes that to the 7th, 8th, or 9th. As opposed to the 6th. Right there now. 2 outs in the 6th and 2-0. Now, the thing you fear about some young pitchers these days is that mentally they got this idea that 6 innings is a great thing. Not that Jordan thinks that, but.
Yeah, I don't think Jordan Zimmerman thinks that. You talk about the bulldog approach that this guy has. He wants the baseball every 5th day, and he's going right at these Braves hitters. He's had a little bit of bad luck behind him today, but he's been in the strike zone, hasn't got the benefit of a few calls here and there. It hasn't really dictated the outcome of this game, but you know, get those calls early in the game. Maybe it settles you down in your first outing of the season. You start getting the borderline pitches, and now you relax to where all of a sudden you're not getting those pitches. Maybe you press a little bit. You got some things going on behind you that aren't what you would like. But I thought for the most part he's done a nice job so far.
80 pitches so far. Still battling. 3-1 pitch out of play. And there's no doubt that at times today he's had to throw the ball into a shoebox of a strike zone, as outlined by home plate umpire Mike DeMuro. Alex Gonzalez, his triple that dropped on the track last time, a very damaging lead into that 2-run 5th. 3-2 pitch. He fails to get the 1-2-3 inning. That'll be his 3rd walk of the day. First time Hayward's been on. With Gonzalez stepping in, Doug Slayton up for the 2nd time today. We had a pitcher here a couple of years ago that was asked before the season, he shall remain anonymous, what his goals for the year were. He said he wanted to go 12-8 with a 3.96 ERA. I'm like, where did that come from?
Those are specific goals.
Well, the ending to that story is that none of those numbers came anywhere close to being true.
Well, as a player, you can't have outcome goals. And what I mean by that is you have to have some way to get to the end. If you say I want to hit 300, well, that's such a vague goal. You got to have little steps along the way that you say. You know, I want to have a good approach at the plate, swing at good low strikes, have 4 good at-bats today. And then you look up at the end of the season, and maybe you have one of those goals set. And from a pitching standpoint, there's no way you can say, I'm going to be 20-2 this year with a 2.6 ERA. You have to take it day by day, pitch by pitch. If you're a position player, at bat by at bat, and set little daily goals to get to the big goal at the end of the season.
Reaching for that one, Alex Gonzalez out to left center. Michael Morris, a very assertive call, and the top of the 6th is over. Braves have left 4. Top of the order coming up. 6th inning. Alice Gonzalez got a 2-run rally going with a triple that dropped between Worth and Ankiel, leading on the 5th inning. Zimmerman, though, and Hudson have really been good today. Jordan Zimmerman is pitching well enough to be a winning pitcher.
He's been pounding the strike zone all day, and his misses haven't been by much. He's got a great tempo out there, getting it and throwing it, keeping his defense in the game. And you're facing a bulldog in Tim Hudson. We were excited about this matchup when we saw it at the beginning of this series. Two good pitchers going head-to-head today.
Look at that. 1.90 against the Nationals' career. It started the day at 1.91. And there's nothing going on except the first inning walk, couple of base hits. And Ian Desmond, for himself and his ball club, needs to get on base. And that's a little flare. Ugla gets it. Dan Ugla ranging right out and looking over his shoulder. And that's Ian Desmond 0 for 12 now to start the season.
We've been emphasizing the fact that if you work fast as a pitcher and you throw strikes, you get great plays made behind you. Dan Ugla, just a nice job right there. Not known for his defense, going back on this ball and selling out. Going with the old touchdown catch. Great play, Dan Ugla.
One of the cheapest players ever signed by the Arizona Diamondbacks for about $1,000 when Mike Rizzo was with them out of the University of Memphis. What an amazing Rule 5 pickup he was for Florida, and then traded on to Atlanta. Jason Worth is 0 for 1 today. A walk, a run scored, and a comeback. Now there's Coffey in the bullpen. Out to the shortstop, Gonzalez. Always a reliable shortstop. Bases empty, 2 outs.
Let's check out the 6th inning Coors Light freeze game. It's time to check it out. Let's go back to yesterday and look at Rick Ankiel. A little extension right there, a little head down. Swung through a 3-0 fastball. Got a 3-1 cookie right down the middle. And kids at home, that's how you do it. You talk about keeping your head down. That was absolutely perfect.
Coors Light Freeze Camp brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Ryan Zimmerman, 2 ground balls today. 1 to third, 1 to second. Tim Hudson, untouchable right now. 13 consecutive hitters retired. And he's about to make it 14. One of those was a double play. So nothing going for the Nats. Since the leadoff man single back in the second, this game into the 7th. How Teddy can smile like that when he's being hammered to the ground is beyond me. Top of the 7th inning, Coffee coming in. Expect great things with the Weekend Family Fun Pack here at the ballpark this year. Starting at $14, including a ticket, hot dog, chips, and a Coke. Go to nationals.com/family for tickets. Some restrictions do apply. And as you may have noticed, it is the Weekend Family Fun Pack this year, not just Sundays.
Todd Coffee on for the Nationals. Fastball, slider, occasional split. Big pot. This is his nickname. I'm giving it to him, and it's going to stick.
I don't think he minds.
I talked to him. I asked him if it was all right. He said, go ahead. Call me whatever you want. I'm just glad to be here. Help the ball club any way I can.
One thing we will not be calling him is decaf. Freddie Freeman 0 for 1 with an RBI grounder after a walk. And a little chopper foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jordan Zimmerman, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. So he'll finish the day with a 3 ERA. Walked 3, struck out a couple. But not as good as Tim Hudson, who is on deck and has retired 14 batters in a row. 15 of the last 16. Cincinnati's had 2 first-inning hits and a walk against him. And he also threw a wild pitch. Nothing wild since then. Coffey's first appearance on Thursday, a 1-inning, 8th-inning success when he got Hinsky, Prado, and McLouth in order. Rays have hit the Nationals 4-3 to lead 3-1. Top 7. Coffee pulls the string on a breaking ball. Beautiful pitch to the number 8 hitter to strike him out. Braves in-game box score. There's been 3 innings when they didn't make contact today, or really didn't have a hit. But they bunched things together a couple of times. They scored 1 in the first and 2, 1 earned in the 5th. RBIs today from Brian McCann. Freddie Freeman, the other one on an error. Well, Hudson is in cruise control right now. He's been getting the bat on the ball, fouling off some pitches today.
I saw it a bunch of times when he was my teammate in Oakland. Give this guy the lead, he turns into a different pitcher. He smells the finish line. He's not a guy that wants to hand the ball to the bullpen ever. You know, even though he's bounced back from Tommy John surgery. When you think about Tim Hudson, you think, the big 3, Mulder, Zito, and Hudson, when they came up as young guys with the A's. But Tim Hudson's actually been with the Braves longer than he was with Oakland.
His 7th year with this ball club now. His best season, though, with the A's. The only time he won 20 games back in 2000. He has pitched over 200 innings 7 times in his career. And by today's standards, coming into this game, a 3.42 career ERA is excellent.
And if you're Steven Strasburg and you're somewhere watching this baseball game, it's got to be encouraging to see a couple of guys that have had Tommy John surgery doing so well at the highest level.
0-2 pitch, and Coffee goes with the fastball.
It doesn't surprise me. He was a comeback player of the year last year. He's a guy that's a tireless worker. Thinks of himself as just one of the guys. A lot of times pitchers will alienate themselves from other teammates, but he's a guy that does everything with the team. You'll see him taking foul balls during batting practice, shagging fly balls in the outfield, All-American outfielder at Clemson. Just an all-around baseball player.
Coffee overpowers the opposing pitcher. Danny Espinosa throws out Hudson, 2 outs. In the 7th with Prado coming up. Masson has a new show dedicated to you, the fans, 60 minutes of the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report, Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 6:30 with Tom Davis, Phil Wood, Dave Johnson, and Mel Antonin. Hottest topics in baseball, maximum access to batting practice, reports from the field, roundtable discussions. If it's baseball, the Masson Sports Report will have it for you. And we are told that occasionally they will seek our opinion from the ballpark, and we'll be happy to be part of that. Talking to some great baseball guys. Martin Prado started the season 0 for 9, but he's 2 for 3 today. Coffey throwing well, throwing strikes, 0-2.
Yeah, relievers coming out of the bullpen. The number one thing you have to do is throw strikes. Todd Coffey has done just that, pounding the strike zone, got a good tempo going. I know I've been saying that a lot, but it's a big deal. You come out of the bullpen. Now, Felipe Alou, if you threw ball 1, he would go crazy in the dugout. If a reliever came in out of the bullpen, he would turn to everybody and say he's not ready to pitch today. And you look at Nationals relievers so far this year. You know, everybody coming out of the bullpen, pounding the strike zone, ready to pitch every day. It's a good sign.
With a fastball, and Prado, like he did last year, takes it to right field. He was leading the league in hitting for a while. Worth a strong throw, but it short hops Desmond. We've had 2 short hop outfield throws today that might have had different results. Double all the way for Prado. Good base running.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting by Martin Prado, just taking the fastball away and not trying to do too much with it. Jason Worth doing a good job of getting over. A little reverse pivot here, picking up his target in a strong throw. That ball off the dry infield late in the day. Had a little hair on it.
Yeah, that's a great replay showing how that ball handcuffed Ian Desmond. Even if he gloves that cleanly, not enough time to get the tag down.
A plane service here in Washington is just immaculate. I can't believe how nice the field is. But a lot of times during day games, the field will dry out late in the game and the ball will take some tricky hops on you. That's why you like to get to that night game mode where the field's always nice and damp for 9 innings. It looked like right there with the Jason Worth throw, that ball actually picked up speed when it hit the dirt.
Yep. We'd like to hear from you during the game. Ask about the Nats at massonsports.com. Send in your questions. Our crew will have a look at them, and we may end up discussing them. I did get one message today on the Nats website. We have a little thread that I've had going with the fans for a while called Ask Bob, and somebody wanted to know how you score that interference play on Chipper Jones with Jason Worth running back in the first inning. There's really nothing to score because he was given home plate. So basically in the scorebook, it's a base hit and an RBI for Adam LaRoche, but I did make a little bit of a notation that there was contact between the runner and the third baseman, but it really doesn't get scored much of anything other than hit and RBI.
I wrote that to you. Did you know that? No,
I know who wrote it. We got some regulars there who know their baseball. But you're welcome to ask me a question anytime. I should be asking you, though. We have a lot of great fans who like to keep in touch with what's going on during the games, before and after. 2-0 now to Nate McLeod, and you sure do not want to see Chipper Jones in the batter's box in this 7th inning when the Braves have a chance to put a stranglehold on this game. Nate McLeod is 1 for 11 on the year. He batted under 200 last year. You would not want to walk him to get to the next guy. Walked him on 4.
Now for Jim Riggleman, you got to decide whether you want to turn Chipper Jones around to the right side, maybe bring in Slayton to face him.
I think that decision's been made pretty quickly. Todd Coffey had a 1-2-3 inning potentially. A double and a walk. It'll take Slayton against Chipper in a moment. Great sights to be seen. They start at just $10. Go to nationals.com/tickets and check it out and check out some of the most dramatic views in baseball here in this beautiful ballpark, 1.7 miles south of the Capitol building. Slayton against Jones. Chipper today is hitless over 3, 4 for 12 on the air.
And Chipper Jones last season, if you're wondering why Jim Riggleman turned him around, not a lot of difference in his average. 305 versus left-handers, 307 versus right-handers. He's always been pretty consistent. A lot of times with switch hitters, you'll find a guy's better from one side of the plate versus the other. Always marvel at Chipper Jones. Pretty equal for both sides of the play.
Third career matchup between these two. Chipper has a base hit in 2 career appearances against Doug Slayton. Prado, good speed at second base, and Nate McLouth, very good speed behind him. So this is a 7th inning juncture that could decide this game. Breaking ball low and inside. Slayton has appeared in every game. Gave up a hit in the 6th inning against Freddie Freeman yesterday. And in the 7th inning on opening day, he walked Jason Hayward. So it hasn't gone well for him against left-handed batters. He faces the switch hitter Jones here. Ball 3.
And you don't necessarily have to give in right here. You have an open base, albeit third base, and you never really want to put another runner in scoring position. But when you have the left-hander McCann on deck, Slayton a lot tougher on lefties last year than righties. You don't want to give in to a good hitting Chipper Jones right here in this situation.
Hacking on 3-0. Foul just outside third. Chipper, by the way, is approaching 1,500 RBIs. He has 1 on the young season. He's 8 away from that level in his 17th year. You might remember back in '94, Chipper did not play because of a knee problem that kept him out of what would have been his first full season. 6-time All-Star. One of the best switch hitters of all time. Tailing fastball misses. Bases loaded. Lefty-lefty matchup now, Slayton and McCann.
You know, strike one, very important right here to Brian McCann. You want to have the upper hand. You want to be able to use all your pitches. You don't want to fall behind with the bases loaded. So go with your best pitch right now, whatever it takes to get strike one.
This is one of the best active players with the bases loaded. 7 grand slams. And that's a breaking ball high in the zone. This all started with 2 outs when Prado doubled.
And first pitch off speed to Brian McCann. Very aggressive hitter in these situations. Gets the strike. Now you're heading the count. You're 0-1. You don't have to worry about laying one in there. You can use all your pitches. That's why strike one's so important, especially in these big situations.
And a bouncer. Nobody there on the shift. It'll drive in 2. Desmond tried to keep it on the infield, and the Braves lead 5-1. That's a routine ground ball to a shortstop in a regular position, not against the shift. And those runs will be charged to Todd Coffey.
You know, I understand why the shift is put on. Those guys have a million charts and graphs down there in the books in the dugout, but a lot of times you see balls hit to where the shortstop would be standing. It's a routine ground ball to shortstop. You have the charts. It shows that McCann's a pull hitter on the ground, maybe opposite in the air, so you have your infield set. But I've never been a big fan of this shift. It's all the rage in baseball right now at the major league level. You know, the big Barry Bonds shift with everybody up there.
Ryan Howard.
You see it all the time. But how many times have you seen a guy like Jason Giambi hit a 14 hopper right to shortstop as a base hit because everybody's using the switch on him? And, you know, right there, that's just a routine ground ball to short.
Ryan Broderick is the only reliever who has not appeared in the ball game. So the Braves, 4 consecutive base runners, 2 on devastating walks, especially the walk to Nate McLouth. You just cannot walk him with Chipper Jones on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike to Uggla, who's 0 for 3 with 3 fly balls. 4 fly balls. And Keel has it measured in center. Tough inning for the Nats bullpen. Braves tack on 2, lead by 4. LaRoche, Morse, and Ankiel coming up. Hitting approach back in the very first inning as he takes one opposite field FP, first RBI of the year. Interference by Chipper, but it simply goes down as an RBI single.
Little pass interference by Chipper Jones right there at third base, but that's just a professional at bat by Adam LaRoche. You saw 3 off-speed pitches. He had a runner on second, 2 outs, a right-hander on deck. It looked like Tim Hudson was trying to pitch around Adam LaRoche. He was ready for the fastball and hit into left for the RBI single.
So the Braves have out-hit the Nationals 6-3 and lead 5-1 as they try to win the series. For Washington, time to make some noise. 9 outs to work with. LaRoche, Morrison, and Keel here in the bottom of the 7th inning against Tim Hudson, who is pitching beautifully. He's retired 14 in a row, and he's put a lid on this in-game box. Danny Espinosa's leadoff hit back in second. The last time the Nats have had a base runner, much less a base hit. And before that, it was LaRoche and Morse in the first inning. Nothing else going on. 76 pitches, 49 strikes. That's a Tim Hudson-like pitching line when he faces our Nationals.
Yeah, a lot of times with Tim Hudson, you can get him early, but once he settles in, it's a long day for the opposition. And look at the pitches down in the strike zone. Tim Hudson, famous for pounding the lower half of the strike zone. That ball starts out down. It's going to be in the dirt. But you just wonder if him sitting around for a long time last inning is going to affect him right here in the seventh. Sometime a pitcher, Bob, gets in a groove like that. He's getting out there. He's got the good tempo going. He sits there for a long time. He'll have a tendency to affect him.
Nana LaRoche waiting to step in. Adam LaRoche 1 for 2 with an RBI today. Michael Morse has a base hit. Tim Hudson completed 1 game last year. He's only had 3 complete games since 2006. So more often than not, the Braves bullpen finishes the ball game when he starts. Something to keep in mind here. But he's only averaging about 13 pitches, really, right at 13 pitches per inning. Peter Moylan is up and throwing again. So is Eric O'Flaherty. Ground ball right side. Freeman to Hudson. Little tiff between the Yankees and the Mets this week regarding a pitcher who the Yankees feel was overused. If they felt that way about Pedro Feliciano, why did they sign him? Pitching in like 90 games a year for the Mets the last 3 years. The Yankees sign him. He's not ready to go, and they're all upset at the Mets. Saying that, Brian Cashman said the Mets abused him. And the Mets, of course, didn't take too kindly to that. Dan Warthen, their pitching coach, not happy about that being said. Why would he? I was not aware of the fact that other teams in baseball should be prepping their pitchers to go to New York, or at least the other side of New York. Michael Morse has a base hit in 2 trips. I, for one, am glad the Nats will not see Pedro Feliciano in Citi Field anymore. And Keel next here in the 7th. And Morse trying to stretch for that one. Another foul tip for a strikeout. And Tim Hudson has fanned 4 today. You can get live Nationals breaking news coverage. Text Nationals to 29292. Message and data rates may apply. And Keel goes up hacking. Somebody trying to get him early in the count here. Hudson trying to retire his 17th consecutive hitter.
Do you go to the bullpen? I know it's early in the season, 83 pitches by Tim Hudson, but he's on cruise control right now. Sitting around the dugout last inning obviously hasn't had an effect on him. His stuff is moving as much as it has the whole baseball game. And I know it's early in the season. You don't want to run a guy into the ground his first outing, but he's got his good stuff going on.
And he's got guys looking bad right now. 5 Ks for Tim Hudson today. He is in control of this baseball game. Top of the 8th, it's all Atlanta 5-1.
his major league debut. Earlier today, I asked him what he would be thinking when the phone rang in the bullpen for him.
It's going to be such a rush. I mean, I know my heart's been pounding like crazy, and it's just, I mean, it's going to be great to actually experience. I mean, be out there on the mound and, you know, everything come true, you know, my dreams and everything, growing up, wanting to play professional baseball.
And Brian's family all traveled here from Arizona. His parents and siblings are all on hand to watch this magical moment for him. Bob, FP?
Born 24 years ago in Phoenix. Originally drafted by St. Louis, 21st round in 07. Nats got him in the Rule 5 draft this past December. And here he is in the big leagues. First hitter, first pitch, base hit. So these Atlanta hitters, that's at least the second or third time in this series that they've known a reliever was going to come in and throw a first pitch fastball for a strike, and they were ready. Jerry Hairston, by the way, batting ninth on the double switch, plays center field.
And don't forget, these guys faced each other a lot in spring training. The Nationals are going to be facing the Braves, the Marlins, the Mets, all teams they played a bunch in spring training, so they're not unfamiliar with each other. They played each other for a good month and a half.
Alex Gonzalez is next, 1 for 3 with a damaging triple back in the fifth. 3 plays today have been interesting. A failed double play to be turned on a bang-bang call back in the first. The Gonzalez triple that fell in, then the Ankiel throw glancing off the glove of Danny Espinosa. Those plays have given the Braves a couple of their early runs. Now they've tacked on 2 more. Freddie Freeman waits. And that fastball stays outside, ball 3.
And Brian Broderick, his best pitch is his sinker, 88 to 93 miles an hour. He's got a slider, a curve, and a change to go with it. And you can only imagine what he's going through right now, his first big league outing. A lot of times when you have a good sinker, you get a little overamped. You'll throw the ball through the sink, almost like putting the ball through the break. Let's see how he regroups right here.
Gets the call in the outside corner.
When you're in your first big league game, the first pitch you throw is whacked into right field, and then you fall behind 3-0. It's always good to get that first strike out of the way.
Pretty good run on that fastball. Kinetic pitch track showing you that ball tracking right back to the outside corner, and then that ball will be foul. Kinetic North America provides world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers. So he's got some wicked movement going here.
Just a little up in the strike zone right now. We saw him in spring training. He kept that sinker down, got a lot of ground balls, did everything you're supposed to do to make a major league team, throwing strikes, getting a lot of ground balls. I can't imagine the adrenaline that's pumping through him right now. Looking for that ground ball double play, and missed the 2 count.
Runner aboard, nobody out. Hayward is running. Ground ball to Zimmerman. That'll keep him out of the double play. And then with the runner coming in, he will be called out at second base. Did he call him out? I saw the right hand come up. I don't know why he would. There's a collision unless there's some kind of interference here. And Espinosa took a real shot from a big man in Jason Hayward. I'm a little surprised Ryan Zimmerman threw that ball to second base. Freddie Gonzalez is on the field.
You know, maybe Zimmerman thought he got to the ball so fast, even though Jason Hayward was running on the pitch. Do you get the snap throw to second for the force out? A lot of traffic going on. I don't know if the managers are taking inventory right now or arguing with the umpire.
I thought that was one of those plays where he was going to be safe at second, and then they get the guy at first. And now Jim Riggleman is getting some sort of explanation from Tim Welke, who is the crew chief. I thought I saw the umpire raise his right hand and call the runner out.
Well, Hayward didn't slide. He thought the ball was going to go to first base. So, like us, he thought Ryan Zimmerman was going to first, stepping on the bag and rolling over Danny Espinosa.
Jason Hayward, 6'5", 240. That is a definite physical mismatch with Danny Espinoza, who is listed at 6 foot, 190 pounds. So both runners safe here on a fielder's choice. He was running on the pitch, and Ryan Zimmerman just really set up Danny Espinoza to get hammered right there.
Yeah, and that's one that, as Danny Espinoza becomes more of a veteran baseball player, he'll realize that Jason Hayward is running on the pitch, and he's come across that and stretch like a first baseman and get out of the traffic, especially when you got a big guy barreling down on you. And he tried to hang in there and be tough and turn the double play, and I understand that. He's a hard-nosed baseball player, but maybe you stretch for that ball and get out of the way when you got big Jason Hayward coming in to get you.
Yeah, and they would have had Gonzalez at first, but man, he got hammered. 2 on, nobody out. Freddie Freeman now. A chance to give the Braves an exclamation point on this 5-1 lead. Hayward and Gonzalez.
So nice job by Broderick coming back and getting the ground ball. It just didn't work out the way he would have wanted it.
Two and one. Hayward led off the inning with a base hit. Gonzalez a chopper to Zimmerman, but it was a 3-2 pitch. And Hayward is big and fast. Danny Espinoza is only one of those two. Not nearly big enough to deal with that guy. Way outside. Now that this ball game is on the verge of being busted open, Freddie Gonzalez changing his thinking in the on-deck circle. He had Tim Hudson there. Now it's Eric Hinsky.
Let's see if Freddie Gonzalez stays aggressive right here in the 3-2 count. Starts the runners again. A lot of times you'll see managers not start the runners on a 3-2 count with runners on first and second, nobody out, because it's a line drive triple play. I know a lot of managers I played for wouldn't do it. I've seen guys like Tony La Russa do it.
They're holding. Bases loaded. So that'll do it for Hudson, who will give the Nationals only 3 hits and 1 run in 7 great innings. Walked 1 batter back in the first, struck out 5. And Eric Hinsky will hit for him here. Bases loaded, nobody out.
It's a good trip to the mound by Pudge Rodriguez, trying to calm down the young right-hander. Maybe giving him a little scouting report on Eric Hinsky. You know, first he's going to say, hey, let's just stay down the strike zone, try to get a ground ball, turn the double play, get out of this with minimal damage.
Hinsky has pinch hit each of the first 2 games, 0-2 with ground balls. Now McCaddy will come out. Nats have used 3 relievers today. Chad Godin is up warming for the 2nd time. Clippard was outstanding. Storin solid yesterday. Sean Burnett very good. Not on that list, and probably not available today, but he's been listed a couple of days as a reliever, is Tom Gorzolani. He will pitch a simulated game here tomorrow before the Nationals take off for Florida. He just needs that to see some live hitters, throw on the side some throughout the week, and he'll be starting next Saturday in New York. So there's Tom, who we look forward to seeing as, at least for now, the 5th starter.
Are we broadcasting that simulated game?
That's one of the few things Masson does not do. Just about everything else related to Nationals baseball. Although they could be an opportunity for you to hone your play-by-play skills.
First things first.
I'll be your analyst. The Chuck will record that for the Christmas party reel. On 1 to Hinsky. And holding, that's got to be a balk. Broderick never threw the ball. He stumbled coming off the mound. And with men on base, that's a very unusual balk. And the Braves walk home a run.
That's just nerves. That's all that is.
You got to think it is.
Yeah, your first big league outing, you got bases loaded, runners all over the place. I don't know that I've ever seen that before.
I mean, we've seen guys do that with nobody on base, or, you know, abort a delivery. There's LaRoche. Nicely done. Gives it to the pitcher, who just gets there in time. Espinoza was already at the bag, and Broderick almost didn't get to the bag for that 3-1 putout. Crazy inning for the rookie in his major league debut. Top of the order now, Martin Prado.
Hinsky going up there hacking like he usually does off the bench.
See, Broderick didn't break right away. Then he paused, and Espinoza was waiting at the bag for a throw. Crazy.
Man, I've been there before. You're out there at your first big league game. You have the nerves, and then all of a sudden things start to unravel. Your head is spinning. I mean, it just is. The game's moving so fast naturally because it's your first outing, and now things aren't going the way you dreamed it would go, and your head just starts spinning. I mean, you don't even know where you're at times. I've been there. You make a couple of errors, the crowd's cheering, all of a sudden the game's just, it's almost like a nightmare that's happening to you, but you're living it. You got a feel for him right now in your first big league outing with what's happened in this inning.
A hit, a walk, a balk, crazy play at first base, fortunately getting the out. And now he's behind Prado, who's 3 for 4 today. So their leadoff guy has busted out after going 0 for 9. That ball flared to right. Jason Worth is on the move, and he's got it for the second out. And that sacrifice fly will put the Braves on top 7-1. Good day for Prado. Nats will be on the plane tomorrow at this time, heading down to Florida to take on the Marlins. 7 o'clock, Nats Extra, 6:30 with Johnny and Ray in the studio. Tuesday night, Anibal Sanchez and Jason Marquis. And unfortunately for all of us, the new stadium's not ready for another year down there. One more year in the football stadium. Pudge blocks it.
One more year where you never start a game on time in the football stadium.
Yeah, assorted rain delays during batting practice.
If you're Broderick right here, you're just hoping you can end this on a positive note. Maybe get out of this inning, throw some strikes right here, get a ground ball, just get back in that dugout. You know, the good thing about the way the Nationals are set up this year, you have a lot of veteran players that are going to be there for you. You have a tough outing. You get a lot of pats on the back and say, hey, hang in there. You'll be right back out there. And the best thing Jim Riggleman can do is get him in a game as quickly as possible after this.
That ball drilled to the gap in left center. And the Braves will lead 8-1 as Nathan McLouth gets his second hit of the year.
You get behind at the major league level, these guys are going to sit dead red fastball. Nate McLouth doing a nice job of getting a fastball on the outer third of the plate and driving it in the gap.
And Jim Riggleman doesn't want things to get too ugly for his rookie in his major league debut. And Broderick leaves the mound. It's all Braves now, 8-1, 8th inning. Take the Nats with you wherever you go this year. Subscribe to MLB.tv. See every Nationals game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Nationals.com to order. And for more details, MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. So the Braves have tacked on 3 more runs here in the 8th. And they're feeling pretty good about heading on to Milwaukee from here. Chad Godin, Oakland and the Yankees last year. He made his debut yesterday in the 6th inning and got the Nats in a bit of a bind, giving up a home run to Dan Uggla and then a walk. So Tim Hudson about to win his first game of the year. And, of course, things don't get any easier because we saw Johnny Venters warming up his mid-90s heater. In many cases, high 90s. Here's Chipper again. 5th plate appearance of the day, 0 for 3 with a walk. Dave McLeod finally delivering his first RBI. And Chipper golfs one to left. That's another run. 9-1 Atlanta. And all 4 runs in this inning will be charged to Brian Broderick. On only 2 hits.
You know, we talked about Chipper Jones yesterday and maybe his mobility at third base. A little questionable at times, but he definitely brought his bat with him this series, and Freddie Gonzalez getting a little rest here as the game gets out of hand.
Outfielder Matt Young will pinch run for Chipper. So Chipper Jones will finish the first season of, or rather series of the season, 5 out of 13 with 2 RBIs. That ball is jacked to right field by Brian McCann. The Braves are blasting the Nationals bullpen here. That's off the wall for a single, and Brian McCann has 3 hits and 4 RBIs today.
And we talked about at the outset of the series that we thought the Braves were one of the better teams in the National League this year, and it was going to be a challenge for the Nationals right out of the gate. And you're seeing why a lot of people have picked the Braves to win the National League East. They swing the bats. They got good starting pitching and a great back end of the bullpen.
Dan Uggla 0 for 4 today. And a first pitch front door breaking ball for a strike. Well, you hate to use guys like Drew Storn or Sean Burnett in a game like this. It may be necessary. I mean, this is only the 8th inning. 4 outs yet to get. Ten hits for Atlanta, and 6 of them in the last 2 innings. Jason Hayward led off this inning with a base hit on Brian Broderick's first major league pitch. And the line drives keep on coming. Uggla's into the hit column. McCann stopping at second. And Jason Hayward will bat for the second time here in the 8th.
And you talk about the score, Bob, and maybe whether Drew Storm should come in or not. It's still a Major League Baseball game, and early on in the season, guys are trying to establish their roles. The Major League manager, the GM is checking you out. Doesn't matter what the score is. You still got to go out there and perform, regardless of the fact that you're down by 9 runs. I mean, when you're talking about a 162-game season, I know it's not spring training. You're into the regular season, but early on, all eyes are on you. You used to hate playing in games like this because the manager has nothing to do but watch everything under a microscope. You don't have to manage. The wheels aren't turning. So now what do? You just watch all the players. You're watching how they react. You're watching the guys that you bring into the game, and you're seeing how they react to the score. And Jim Tracy, the manager of the Rockies, was my manager in AAA, and he used to say, heads up, boys, when we're losing, because I don't have to manage it, so all I'm going to do is watch you. I have nothing else to do in this dugout but watch how you're reacting. Are you going to shut it down? Are you going to keep playing?
Yeah. Guys falling behind every hitter here. And Gonzalez, he hit that bouncer to third on which Zimmerman threw to second. Go Dan into right center. McCann will score. Uggla to third. It's 11-1. And the pitcher got hammered by that one. More ways than one.
There we go out to see if Chad Godin is okay. That was a laser beam off the bat of Jason Hayward. It's a fastball in the outer half. He goes out and hooks it up the middle. I'm just glad he's okay.
Right off his back. Big hit in this ball game. Alex Gonzalez, it'll be our 4th drive of the game. Lofting one to right center. The Nats could not make connections.
A lot of air under this baseball. Just a well-placed triple in the gap by Alex Gonzalez. Jason Worth and Rick Ankiel not able to communicate. The ball drops, and like you said, not a big play in this baseball game.
If that ball's caught, the next 2 hitters are the 8 and 9 hitters. It turned into a 2-run inning for the Braves. Breaking ball outside to Alex Gonzalez. Fastball up, and Alex couldn't reach it. Ruth's Chris on the pitch track here.
And seen Alex Gonzalez do that a couple of times today. Swing through high fastballs. He likes it up there.
The steakhouse where sizzling steaks are part of a memorable experience. Pop fly out behind second. Espinosa there. And finally, the Nats are out of the inning. The Braves tack on 6 in the 8th and lead 11-1. Since we last did this, it's 11-1 now. Jordan Zimmerman, respectable outing. Tim Hudson, fantastic outing. And a big day for Brian McCann, 3 hits and 4 RBIs.
Go back to the first inning. It all started with Brian McCann and a little single in the left, and then he turns on this laser beam down the right field line. Brian McCann with a big day for the Braves, 3 hits and absolutely locked in.
Martin Prado, who used to be an infielder, comes into play third base with Chipper out, and Matt Young, who pinch ran for Chipper Jones, is in left field. Bottom of the 8th, Danny Espinosa wheels around, hits from the right side. 1 for 2 today against hard-throwing left-hander now, Johnny Venters. Espinosa lines one hard, and that'll be an extra base hit for Danny. And another 2 for 3 day. And by the way, he has led off 3 innings today and 2 times has base hits.
Yeah, Danny Espinosa doing it from the left side early in the game, now doing it from the right side. A lot of times as a switch hitter, it's tough to turn around in the course of the game, but he gets Johnny Venters with a bullet down the left field line. And like I said, you know, this game's out of reach. It's 11-1, but every at-bat counts. Sometimes, you know, as a player, when the game's out of reach, it's hard to stay focused. It's hard to stay up in the game. But when you're a young player, and like I said, all eyes are on you, nice job by Danny Espinosa staying with it.
Who is 4 for 9 on the weekend. And here's Pudge, 0 for 2 today. Out to short on a pitch inside. That's the first out. With Espinosa moving over to third base. And Jerry Hairston Jr., first plate appearance of the day after coming in on the double switch. Drew an intentional walk pinch hitting yesterday. And then was a pinch hitter on Thursday, but Lance Nix replaced him because of a pitching change. And that fastball is in there from Johnny Venters. Drew Storn evidently will get some work in the 9th inning. Down to third, Hairston. He'll get an RBI as Espinoza scampers home to make it 11-2. Good base running by Danny Espinoza. Opening at home, going to Florida and New York on the road trip, and then the Fightin' Phils will come in, followed by Milwaukee. And then the Nationals will go to St. Louis. Pittsburgh is also part of that road trip. So the Nationals will get a big dose of the National League Central starting in a couple of weeks. Bases empty, 2 outs. Desmond coming up, 11-2 the score.
Y'all packed for Florida? You ready to go?
Not yet.
Any tips for a first-time broadcaster on the road?
Be on time. We're not waiting for you.
You know me. If you're not a half hour early, you're late.
That's good. We are still trying to determine exactly where your seat on the plane shall be.
You're playing any rookie pranks on me, are you?
I don't
sit in the bathroom the whole
No,
flight?
you got big league time. None of us do. Desmond up the middle, can't buy a hit. Gonzalez cuts it off. And Ian Desmond is 0 for 13 to start the year. Top of the 9th coming up. It's all Braves, 11-2. Dealers. Top of the 9th inning. Drew Storn will get some work, and the Nats will get some defensive guys in there to give him some game action. Alex Cora, utility man extraordinaire, will come over and give Ryan Zimmerman the rest of the day off at third base. And Drew Storn will get some work. Day off tomorrow, so not a big deal for this young pitcher, who did give up a run in 2/3 of an inning on a home run to Alex Gonzalez yesterday. First hitter he'll face will be Freddie Freeman. Out of play, left side. So the Braves will hit Brandon Hicks next and give Johnny Venters his 1 inning of work here. Freddie Freeman, 0 for 2. RBI grounder, pair of walks. And that's ball 2.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, a good opportunity for Drew Storm to show the manager he can throw some strikes. He's worked things out. And the pitch he threw Gonzalez yesterday for the home run, a slider down in the zone. Gonzalez went down and got it. I didn't think it was a bad pitch at all. Like I said, when you get these opportunities, you got to find a way to trick yourself into thinking it's a close game. How many times have you seen closers come in and it's not a closer situation? They just don't have the same adrenaline flowing. You got to find a way.
Well hit, and Desmond to his left with a stab. I'm telling you, the Braves, 12 hits today, 10 yesterday. They should have had 14 or 15 yesterday. A reminder, join Tom Davis, Phil Wood, Dave Johnson, Mel Antonin. Hottest topics in baseball, maximum access. It is the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report, Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 6:30, right here on Masson. Brandon Hicks, the hitter. 25-year-old infielder from Houston. Third rounder back in 07, former Texas A&M Aggie. And a bouncer to Alex Cora near the bag at third. He can play anywhere on the field. That gentleman, 2 outs.
Yeah, half glove will travel. And anytime you go into a game, the ball's going to find you. It's just the way it goes. You go into a game, you want it that way, though. You don't want to stand over there. You come into a game, and then all of a sudden 3 or 4 innings later, you get the ball. Get that first one out of the way. Make the play. And for a utility player, at least for me, the hardest position was third base. You know, you're used to playing up the middle where you can read hops. If you're a shortstop or a second baseman, when you're playing third base, you're almost like a goalie. You don't have the luxury and the time to read hops. That's why when you see a guy like Ryan Zimmerman, a guy that plays it so well every day, you just appreciate it.
Alex Cora, 35 years of age, just a few years behind F.P. Santangelo at the University of Miami.
He went to the right school.
That he did. Who are the notable Major League alums from that school? Pat Burrell went there, right?
Aubrey Huff, Pat Burrell. I'm sure there's a couple guys I'm leaving out. Alex Cora, of course.
Did Gabby Sanchez go there?
Yes, he did.
We'll see him Tuesday. Funny swing by Martin Prado to chop it foul. A lot of great years down there by Ron Fraser. Perennial College World Series ball club.
The Grand Poobah. That's what we used to call him.
Oh, yeah?
Great guy, great coach.
I had a chance to do some TV with him many, many years ago. I just sat there for 3 hours and tapped his knowledge, that's all.
Kind of like what you do with me, right?
Exactly.
Same thing. Yeah.
Just merely scratching the surface. You know, most of the iceberg is under the water. We haven't seen most of it.
That's a nice way to put it.
No balls and 2 strikes, and Drew Storen trying to close out a 1-2-3 ninth inning that'll give him some confidence and momentum going into a tough pitcher's park down in Miami. And another one for Alex Cora. Good inning for Drew Storen. Bottom of the ninth, Worth, Cora, and LaRoche scheduled.
And Bob at FP going to try to pull him through rain today. Just too much Tim Hudson.
A whole lot of Tim Hudson. He had it working today. Able to go 7 innings, just 3 hits, Johnny, and just continuing what he did last year when he won 17 ball games. Didn't walk anybody and had a whole lot of ground balls. Offense not able to do anything, and their offense, Zimmerman, great job. Bullpen, a little rough.
As a former manager, you tell your players, one game, forget about it, let's move on.
Yeah, I don't tell them anything this time of the year.
You don't have to, they know.
They know. So you just know that you're going to have an off day and head on down to Florida. And you know that if you go out there day in and day out with a good solid ball club, with ability to make plays and swing the bat, get some clutch hits, and just being kept in the ball game, which Zimmerman did today, that most of the time the bullpen will keep you close and you'll have a chance to win the ball game.
All right, let's see if the Nationals can do some work here in the bottom of the ninth. Back upstairs, Bob at FP.
And just dovetailing off what Ray said, you know, if you're the Nationals, you take the positive out of what happened this weekend. A lot of good things happened at the ballpark. 2 of the first 3 games. I mean, they played good defense. Livan Hernandez was good. The defense was good the first 2 games. And every once in a while, you know, you're just going to run into a pitcher like Tim Hudson. That happens. You got to tip your cap and move on to the next one. That's like why you play 162 games. There's going to be games like this throughout the course of a 6-month season.
Scott Linebrink will take over for the Braves here. And if you're Jim Riggleman, you want to see as much of your guys as you can. So pinch hitting appearance for Lance Nix. Alex Cora will get an at-bat here in a moment. So you grab what you can out of a ball game like this.
And I think the thing is you have so many veteran guys down there that have won in different teams that you know, they're not going to flip out about an 11-2 loss or whatever the score ends up being in this game. And they've been around the block a little bit. They know that this is going to happen throughout the course of the season. Maybe if you have a younger team, there's a little bit of panic, like, oh, geez, we lost to the Braves 11-2. Are we that good? But when you got guys like Jason Worth and Lance Nix and Alex Cora and Matt Stairs, it's just one game.
2 balls and a strike to Lance. Struck out in a pinch hitting appearance yesterday, stayed in the ball game. Actually, he had come in to play left field, struck out, and then had a base hit his next time up. I like the sock and the thunder the Nats feature from the left side of that bench this year.
Maybe you think about getting Matt Stairs his first at-bat of the season.
I was thinking the same thing, and I'm wondering, and I see him on the step with a helmet. Looks like he'll bat for Adam LaRoche, so that's a good thing, too. He's got to get a couple of swings in.
It's always fun to watch him hit.